As teachers, regardless of whether we're permanent, we're long-term or short-term, we want to make sure we make a difference, and that starts with demanding excellence right from the start. When you enter a room, look for the notes that the teacher has given you. Look carefully. Are they clear? Do they really explain what she wants you to do or he wants you to do? Right at the end of it, what are the children going to learn? It's really important that you have a clear idea of what every lesson looks like and make sure that the children are learning something new or reinforcing by the end of the day. Look around the classroom, look how the classroom's set up. What is the ethos of the classroom? How does the teacher celebrate the room and the children? How are things organised? Are they easy to find? You as a practitioner, can you make sure that your day will be a success? If not, try to make adjustments. For example, it might mean something as simple as moving the whiteboard to an area where you can teach. It might be something as simple as setting your marker pen with blue tack so you don't lose it. Also, have a look around and see who the key staff are. It's really important that you engage with them straight away. You may not know the school when you start. By the end of the day though, you will have a flavour of what the school is like. Also a flavour of what the children need, because you are the teacher. You are going to be the consummate professional, making sure that the day is successful for you and for the children, but also the teacher who's left you the notes. Have a look in the books. This is before the children have come in. What does the teacher's feedback look like? What are the standards of presentation? It's not for you to be critical, it's for you to ensure that standards are still maintained, and actually if you can better them, that's even better. Have a look at the systems that have been put in place. Are they clear? And if not, make sure that you follow them through. If you need to make them easier for you, adapt them without changing too much. When you're in the classroom, the teaching assistant will arrive. Try to make sure you shake their hand, because to them, it's you accepting them as a professional. Like the children, they won't like change. So to you, it's really important for you to ensure that they understand that you're willing to work with them and make sure that they have a good day too. See if you can lay the books out. If it's not part of the system, then fine, but it's really important you lay the work out and set the standard. When the children come in, they will know this is a teacher who means business. This is a teacher who's going to expect work to be done because they've got the work set out. Try not to have the books wonky. When they're set out or flung haphazardly, it really sets a stance of, oh, this is my standards, and the children will come in and act in a haphazard way. Believe it or not, I've actually tried this and tested this and trained many of the teachers that have trained under me to check how the books are laid out. The books should be laid out like in a hotel conference room, where it is set out with excellence, and as you come in, you know that somebody has cared. Also, make sure that when the children come in, routines are followed. Take time to really introduce yourself. Say a little bit about who you are and why you are here. Children are curious. They want to learn, but they want to learn about the person that they're going to spend the whole day with. Remember, they don't know you, so they're anxious. And while you might have control by having access to senior leaders or access to other teachers, they're in the room together. To them, the classroom is home. When they come in, they will either sit on the carpet or sit at their desks. Take the register quickly and efficiently, and if they interrupt, make a routine of starting again just to make sure that you mean business. It will be efficient, trust me. The other thing you need to do is, after introducing yourself, get to know them. Ask them to introduce themselves, say their name and also something that is particular to them. It might be their favourite colour, it might be their favourite sport or hobby, or might be their favourite football team. That will help you remember every child and try to learn the children's names within the first half an hour of being there. That's the first behaviour management strategy, because you've got to know them and you know their names. The other thing is, make sure that you understand each timetable. Children are fastidious about their break times, so make sure that everything is tidy and put away and you are ready for the next lesson. Always understand the importance of talking to parents. right at the beginning of the day, if you're the supply teacher or you're the long-term or short-term teacher, go down, introduce yourself to the parents, because they themselves are curious where the teacher has gone. When you take the children up, also make sure that you have explained to them what you expect, what are your standards and why. At the end of it, they need to know that every day is precious for them. And while you've got to the point where you've reached in your career, where you are enjoying doing what you do, they still haven't decided. They need to be accountable for every day that they spend. Make sure you teach, listen, learn, and talk to them. Understand what they need. The first thing you need to do is identify, not the children who are going to be tricky for you, who are the children who are the most vulnerable. They're the ones that you need to make sure that they have had a good day. It could be children with behaviour issues. It could be children with complex additional needs. It could be a child who's come home and has obviously had a bad day the previous day, or has had a bad weekend. Or it could be a child who just doesn't like change and they miss their teacher. It's really important that you talk it through with them and you explain that you're here to make sure they learn. The day should go successfully, and also ask for support. Don't be scared and think you can't do it. You're not alone. All teachers have difficult days, or they might have difficult times. That's when you can ask for support and say, I'm finding this child a little bit difficult. What is the secret of the success? What can I do to support them? How can I make sure they still have a successful day? One of the other tips is make sure you have lunch. It's really important that you can get caught up and not have lunch as you're busy trying to prepare other things. Having lunch will allow you to have rest. Your mind has been working actively and you've been making sure that you've been challenging the children and ensuring that they are working hard. But you've been working hard too. So by having that rest in the staff room or wherever you want to be, or popping out, it will refresh you and it will allow you to reflect on the day's events and ready to implement new strategies in the afternoon if necessary. At the end of the day, always end on a really good note. Share something that you've noticed about each child. Remember, every child is gifted and talented, not just to the parents, but to everybody. And your job is to celebrate with them so that they go away and thinking, although that teacher was just here for the day, they made sure that my day was really memorable. Also, ask them to share with you what they have learnt. It might be a bit tricky for them to say so at first, but at the end of it, they will have to think hard and reflect themselves as to what they have done. That's giving them ownership, but also making sure that they are accountable to themselves and they can identify what their next step is. Make sure you have the best day ever. Some days aren't the best days and they can be a bit of a flop. But don't worry, it's about you turning things around within the minute and making sure that you and the children have the best day regardless of what has happened during the school day.